So it's assembled.
The battle lines have been drawn. The pattern has been cut and modified, and the garment has been sewn. Now, this is not any sewing challenge. This is a shirt or shirt dress showdown. Who will reign supreme in the battle of the shirt or shirt dress? Come with me and you'll find out. Come on, let's go. Hey everyone, I'm Rochelle and I'm the girl that gives you all the pattern sales, sew along, and behind the scenes of any and everything in between. You guys, this is an official video and an announcement of the battle of the shirt or shirt dress showdown. So this year it is all about the versus battle. So every month I'm going to be bringing you 2 shirt or shirt dresses, or one of each, shirt or shirt dress. It doesn't matter which one, every single month until Halloween. I'm excited for it. So in today's video, the battle this month, or in this video, I should say, is all about the basics. And I know you're wondering, like, what the heck does that mean? So all about the basics is classic meets camp shirt. So what I did is I sewn together a classic shirt, but I also did a camp shirt, which is what I'm wearing. So let's go ahead and first talk about what I have on the camp shirt, and then we'll get into the classic button-down shirt. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Just about 2 weeks ago, I shared a photo of the fabric on, and let you guys decide what fabric in Ankara that I should do for the camp shirt. Now, I did not tell you what pattern I was gonna do. I was just like, hey, what pattern should I use for this button-down shirt? And the fabric that you guys chose was this one that I have on, but I chose the pattern, and it is New Look 6197. Now, for this one is a unisex pattern. So let's go ahead and talk about the pattern description. So for New Look 6197, it is a misses and men's button front shirt. It have a convertible collar, back yoke, and an optional front patch pocket. Now I left the front patch pockets off because I didn't want pockets on this one, because I feel like it would have got lost in the sauce. Basically, if I would have put a pocket right here, because this is a busy print, you wouldn't have been able to see the pocket. Now, that's just my 2 cents and my opinions, but that's what it is. Now, for the men's one, which is view A, that one has slits on the side. And then for the misses, view B and view C, it has a shirt tail style hem for this one. Now, for the misses, you can wear it tucked in, or you can wear it like I did and do not tuck it in or tie it at the end. But this one is a good one. It's New Look 6197. Let's go ahead and talk about the notions that I used for this one. So for New Look 6197, the only notions that you will need outside of interfacing for the front is 5 half-inch buttons if you are doing view A or B. If you are doing view C, you're still gonna need that 5 half-inch buttons, and then also a pack of single fold bias tape if you are doing view C. But outside of that, that's all you need for this one. Let's talk fabrics. So in terms of fabric, I use an Ankara fit print. It is stash fabric. Now, here's the thing. So back in December, I was part of the pattern testing for Julie from the Created Curvy, and I actually cut this fabric for her pattern that she released. Now, I have a whole video, and I'm gonna put it up here so you're able to see it, but I effed up 2 prints in that video. So most people would have been like, okay, look, I'm sorry, girl, but it ain't gonna happen because I just effed up 2 prints. But instead, I had some left over. I had enough to make the top. Now, everyone knows this year, my main focus is to sew for my stash. Once I sew a lot for my stash, now I know there's a Whole 30 challenge by Jacinta, Pink Mimosa by Jacinta. She does the Whole 30 towards the end of the year. However, I'm starting more than 30 at the beginning of the year, okay? So I haven't been buying any fabric. I haven't been buying anything. I've been buying patterns here and there and everywhere, right? but I want to make sure that I'm sewing down my stash as well as a lot of these patterns that I picked up. All right. So the fabric that I use is an Ankara fabric from House of Mami Wata. Now, this fabric is called Exotic Pressure. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's still available because your girl was trying to buy some more for a pair of pants that I want to sew up. And I feel like I have the perfect pattern for it, which I'm not going to share that now because if I could find this fabric, if I could find this fabric similar or something similar, I know CJ from House of Mami Wata is listening. Yes, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to make those pants that I have an inspiration photo, which I will share once I make the pants. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about pattern pieces. So this one is a quick sew. Speaking of the pattern rating for this pattern, it's an average to sew pattern. In terms of pattern pieces, so for this one, I think this one was 7 pattern pieces if I remember correctly, but let me check because I don't want to tell you anything incorrect. So I needed pattern piece number 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, which is 7 pattern pieces, okay? So pattern piece number 10, the front, pattern piece 12, the yoke front and back. Now I did not do pattern piece 11, which is the pocket. I omitted that. Pattern piece number 13, the back, pattern piece 14, the collar, 15 is the front facing, 16 is the sleeve, and then 17 is the buttonhole guide for view B and view C. Now, the sides that I cut for this one, I cut the biggest sides, but I did have to make modifications to this one. Now, I did a whole complete behind the scenes video, which I will put up here so you're able to see that, of me sewing this together. I pretty much shared the whole sewing process of this pattern, New Look 6197. I actually started the sewing of this one, I want to say the first week in January. And then I went out of town for a business trip for work. Okay. But yeah, that's what I did. Any modifications? No, I did not make any modifications to this one. I just feel like this is a good one to sew. This one comes together so quickly. So let's talk about, did it look like the photos or the drawing on the pattern envelope? Absolutely, it does. I don't even want to say nothing. This is a really good one. I could see myself making this pattern so many times. So would I sew it again? Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about, are the instructions easy to follow? Now, you guys know I have made so many button down shirts. So I'm going to say that I didn't really use the instructions, but I did look at the instruction for the sake of this pattern review. And it is definitely super easy to follow. Okay. There's not a place where you're going to get tripped up in this pattern. In my opinion, there's not a place where I feel like you would get tripped up. All right. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. So there's no dislikes, all love for this one. Now, one thing that I will say is the front portion that is like the placket. Now I did a stitching to keep the facing down. It doesn't tell you to, but I did that in order to keep the facing down. But that was just something that I wanted to do. All right. Likes, all love. Super easy, flowy camp shirt. I can't say enough about it. Yes, this is good. All right. Would I recommend this pattern to others? Absolutely. I feel like if you have this pattern, New Look 6197, definitely pull it out and sew it together. There has been so many sewers that have sewn this pattern. I don't even know why I waited on this pattern. This pattern has been in my stash and cut out since 2017. The pattern's been cut out, not the fabric, but the pattern's been cut out since 2017. We are in 2025, 8 years. I don't know, but this is a good pattern. I am stamping this pattern a 5 out of 5. All right, let's go ahead and get into the classic button down shirt that I did. Okay, so the pattern that I use is New Look 6790 for my classic business button down shirt. Let's go ahead and get into the pattern description. So for New Look 6790, it is a fitted blouse. It has pointed shirt collar, collar band, a shaped hemline, darts, and a narrow hem at the bottom. So view A is your short sleeve option, and then view B is your long sleeve option with a continuous lap. Now, the sleeve area has pleats and a button cuff as well, which is optional. I would say it's optional, but if you are doing view B, you're gonna have to do the pleats as well as the cuff as well. Now, I filmed a complete sew along for New Look 6790, which stay tuned for that because it will be coming in the next few days. I just finished doing the entire edit of it, so it will be dropping, I think Tuesday or Thursday. I'll go ahead and put it up here on when the sew along will be dropped, all right? So let's talk about it, okay? I'm gonna be putting up photos throughout this video as well. So let's talk about this classic button-down shirt, all right? So first, let's talk about the notions you're gonna need in order to create this button-down shirt. So the only notion that I did view B, that is the classic fit button-down shirt with the long sleeves, the button cuffs, the placket, the continuous lap, the button cuffs, all of that stuff. So I use pretty much all the pattern pieces, okay? But it is 12 half-inch buttons for the notions that you're gonna need for that. In terms of pattern pieces, I think I used all the pattern pieces for this one. Let me check. Yeah, 9. So it's 9 pattern pieces for this one, and I used all 9 pattern pieces for New Look 6790. Now, let's talk about the pattern sizing. So this pattern comes in 1 pattern envelope, size 16 to 18, and the size that I cut was the biggest size, which is the size 18. Now, this is an average to sew pattern as well. In terms of modifications, did I make any modifications? I make the basic modifications I have to make all the time. Now, this one I did size up the pattern, okay? Now, next time I will probably do an FBA because I didn't really have a lot of time because I went on a business trip out of town to Baltimore in January, and then this month, well, I'm filming it the last day in February. This is February 28th when I'm filming this one. However, I had to go out of town this month, and in the month of March, I'm going out of town next week. So I know you guys are like, do your job require you to go out of town? Sometimes. It just depends, okay? But this one is just a one day, kind of, you know, in the state of Florida. I'm just going for one day and coming back. Like, leave that morning and come back that afternoon, all right? But yeah, it's New Look 6790 for this one. Now let's talk about any modifications. I didn't make any modifications to this classic button-down shirt. Would I make any modifications? I think for me, I'm good. I wouldn't make any modifications for this one because I made it strictly for a business style shirt. I wasn't trying to give the feel of a classic, even though the photos, I wore white tennis shoes. Now, that wasn't the original plan, but let me tell you why. I have to wear tennis shoes for the next 2 months, okay? I rolled my ankle and it swells so bad, okay? So your girl is unable to wear heels right now. Now, I made it as cute as possible with some tennis shoes because, baby, the original vision that I had for this was not to wear tennis shoes. It was actually to wear my Jessica Simpson heels. Like, I showed you guys that when I did the bias cut skirt with my girl Shells from Shells Create on live. So that bias cut skirt that I made last year for the fall capsule, the 12-piece fall capsule that I didn't complete because I ran out of time. This top was to go with the bias cut skirt. I did not, listen you guys, it is hot outside. So I didn't want to come back in, change, go back to the location I was at. I didn't want to do all that. So we put on shoes and made it do what it do. All right. Are the instructions easy to follow? I'm going to say yes. They are, but I do believe there was one place that can be tricky, okay? So I'm gonna say, definitely wait for the sew along to drop, and you could go to the sew along and sew this pattern with me, because you guys know I don't try to talk to you guys like a kid, but I like to instruct as if I'm teaching high school and middle school kids, okay? So I make my sew along as easy to follow as possible. You're welcome. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. So there are some dislikes for this, and I have to be honest. So first things first, for the dislike, I'm gonna say size. So even though a size 18, finished garment measurement for a size 18 is a 44, the waist is a 39. I had to size up, even though, because when I measured the pieces, took out the seam allowance, it is not a 44. It was more like a 42, as if this, yeah, okay. Basically, the finished garment measurement was wrong, just to be 100% honest. The waist, I don't remember sizing up at the waist, but I did have to size up at the bust. And because this shirt is, below my hips, I had to size it up for the hips too. So, and the hip measurement is not on the back of the pattern envelope. It is on the inside of the tissue paper. So, I mean, I would definitely say measure. Like, I know a lot of you guys go by this finished garment measurement on the back of the pattern envelope. I don't. I actually measure the pattern pieces to make sure I get a good fit. That's what I do. You guys have seen me do that a lot. And I know many of you have asked, can I share kind of like my fitting process on how to size up? I have videos that do that, but in my next sew along, I will share kind of like how to go through the process, but I'm going to break up the video. So the next sew along that I do, I'm going to have a separate video just for that, to where you can always go to on how I size up my patterns to make them fit and get a good fit on my patterns. Okay. Because I always have to make pretty much the same adjustments. It's always going to be pretty much a bust adjustment and a hip adjustment to like pants or anything like that. I pretty much don't ever have to size up the waist measurement, but that's just kind of like my two normal ones that I always have to do. If I'm doing pants, it's always sizing up the crotch. Okay. Like, I always have to make adjustment to the crotch and fit the bootay. That's like pretty much the adjustments I always have to make. But getting back to this pattern, I do not have any first time experiences for this pattern. I would recommend this pattern to others, which is why I filmed a full sew along for it, and it will be dropping Tuesday or Thursday. You'll know when you see the thumbnail for it, all right? The size that I cut was a size 18. No modifications for that as well. Now, a couple of things I want to mention about this one. You have fishtail darts in the front as well as in the back. That is pretty much what took the longest. That took the longest. And then you also have a continuous lap, which I walk you through how to do a continuous lap on this one. So, I mean, I love this. Now, would I sew this pattern again? Absolutely. Now, even though this pattern is going to take you a few hours, this pattern actually took me 3.5 hours to do start to finish, and I was filming at the same time. I filmed this all in one day simply because I was racing against time. Normally, I would break out my time, several days, like 1.5 hours max, but I was racing against time because I knew I was going to have good sunlight today when I took photos after work. So I knew I was going to have good sunlight. So I made sure to get it done all yesterday. Washed it, put it in a washer, came home, pressed it out, and went outside and took photos. I know, it's crazy, but that's what I did. But yeah, once again, this is New Look 6790. All right, so that's it for this video. Welcome to Battle of the Shirt Dress Kickoff. Love it. I want to see what you guys are making in the rims of shirt dress, or, I mean, you could do either or. It is a versus battle, so choose two patterns that you really want to do and see which one your audience liked the most, okay? Now, go ahead and comment in the comment section below. Let me know which one was your favorite. I know I did a print and I did a solid, but which one do you like the best? All right. using one of those patterns. Now, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If this video was educational, inspiring, and fun, you guys know what to do. Give your girl a like, a thumbs up on this video. Comment in the comment section below. Share with a friend and do what's free, and that's subscribe. If you like content like this, you can check out this video right here where I share all the fabric stores that I did some research on where you can shop for fabric that are brick and mortar stores. Also, stay tuned for my next Battle of the Shirt or Shirt Dress video that's going to be popping up mid-month, middle of this month, and this will be part of a new announcement coming up. It'll be the star of the show, okay? Which you guys been waiting on this one since I shared with you guys last year. I'm not gonna tell you what that series is. I will be announcing it in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. So my next Battle of the Shirt Dress will be all about collars. Will we be rounding them out, or are we gonna stand them up? Okay, it'll be the clash of the collars. So stay tuned for that. I already picked my patterns. It's gonna be good. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep sewing.